What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Owen. I run custom creations, but yeah, more importantly, welcome to the 1000 subscriber special. Alright, so I guess first I'll give a little context here. Basically last week I released a poll of options on what I should do for a 1000 subscriber special, and yeah, a majority of you guys voted on a room / mock tour, and also at the end of this, you guys can either suggest a mock that I should build and make instructions on, or a mock that I already built that I haven't made instructions on. I'll, I guess, make instructions for it. With that said, let's get started. Alright, flipping around here, you now have a view of all the mocks I've made, or at least the ones that I haven't destroyed yet. And now what I'll do is I'll go over each one, and I guess give like some of the history and some of the upgrades I did. And yeah, and first I guess I'll start with my line of 8 wide cars. I sort of have like two main series of cars. I have my 8 wide cars and my 6 wide trucks. But yeah, as I said, I'll start with the cars first. Alright, we're going to kick things off right here with this mock, and it is of course my Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. It's actually my most recent one. I made a video on it about 2 weeks ago. If you haven't, you should definitely go check it out. It's probably my favorite mock so far actually. Super clean, super recognizable, and overall just a really nice build in my opinion. So yeah, that's about all there is to say about this, and now I'll move on to the next one. Alrighty, moving on, we have this car right here. It is of course the Mark IV Toyota Supra. You might notice that it's in red now. When I first made it, it was in white. I did a color swap. Not really sure why, to be honest, because I'm sort of running out of red pieces at this point. But yeah, here it is in red. I like this mock, it's pretty recognizable. My first 8 wide car mock actually. I guess that's this, and now we'll move on to the next one. Alright, next up on this list is my Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution mock. I guess the first thing you may notice is it's missing a few pieces. I'm not really parting it out, I'm more just borrowing a few for other mocks because, as I said, I'm running out of red pieces. But yeah, overall I really like this mock. It's really clean, recognizable, but also has many features packed into it. It's such as these opening doors right here. It's my only mock with opening side doors. Yeah, I think that's really cool. It also has suspension, which is probably its key feature. It's a rally car, of course. Yeah, I think overall, it's just a nice build. Alright, last up for my 8 wide mocks is this right here, and it is, of course, my Land Rover Defender 90. Yeah, it's gone through a few changes from when I first built it, such as this grille right here and this bumper. Yeah, it looks way more realistic now. It's still got the opening hood though. Yeah, overall, I think this mock's really nice. It's like simple to build at least, but it's also just a really realistic design. And yeah, I guess that's all to say. And now we'll move on to the 6 wides. Alright, so here is my Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat mock. It's the only 6 wide car on this list. And yeah, overall, I like this build. It's definitely recognizable. The front actually came out looking really good, especially using the binocular pieces for headlights. Yeah, it's super recognizable and realistic. Front end's definitely my favorite part. The sides are okay, the rear is okay, and yeah, overall just a nice little 6 wide build. So now we'll move on to the next one. Alright, next up we have these two trucks right here, and yep, they are basically the same truck. They're both Dodge Ram 3500s, second generation ones. And yeah, I really like these two. They're sort of like the OG trucks. I built them a long time ago, and it's also sort of like my dream truck. Here's sort of the stock one. As you can see, just went through a few changes like new mirrors. And yeah, overall I like this build. It's also got an opening hood and an engine inside. If I can open this, yeah, right there. It's got a Cummins. And yeah, this is actually the only model that I made PDF instructions on. I haven't released them yet because I might plan on making a kit for these. Let me know if you guys would be interested in a like kit where like you can buy the parts and the instructions. But yeah, here's also I guess the second truck right here. This is actually the OG one, the one I built first. It's got a few upgrades. It's got like a chrome grille, new bumper, it's lifted, and yeah, that basically sums it up for these trucks. So now I'll move on to the next. Alright, so continuing with the line of Dodges, the third Dodge in a row on this list, we have this. It's a first gen like Dodge D250, and yeah, overall I just really like this build. It's once again really clean. You might be able to tell I like clean builds. But yeah, super clean, super realistic. And overall it's nice. It's also got a opening hood. This is probably like my favorite part of this. The engine bay looks really good. It's got, of course, got another Cummins in it. And yeah, I guess that's it for this truck, and now I'll move on to the next. Alright, the third and last truck on our list is this right here. It's a Chevy Silverado. It's like a 2006 era, and yeah, it's a pretty basic build when you first look at it, but it has one key feature that sort of makes up for that. Yeah, I guess if we flip this truck over, right here, you'll be able to see what it is, and yep, that's of course a working drive shaft, which leads to a working engine. So basically when you turn the rear wheels, it turns the drive shaft, that turns the engine. I can basically show you guys real quick right here. Just get this hood open, and yeah, as you can see, here it is, and when the wheels are turned, the engine spins. So yeah, it's pretty surprising that I could fit this into a 6-stage wide car. I really like it, and yeah, overall just a nice mock with a nice feature. Next up, we have this little guy here. Sort of forgot about it when I said the last would be the last truck, but yeah, this is actually the last truck. It's of course my only 4-stage wide build, and it's a I guess a Japanese Kei Truck. Yeah, I built a lot of these in the past, like 3. I made a off-road tutorial one, I made a tutorial on a drift one, and a tutorial on like a standard one with a dump bed. But yeah, overall, I just like this design. I rebuilt it like about 3 weeks ago. It's really easy to rebuild, really clean and simple, and overall just a nice little build to have. Alright, that's it for the finished builds, but there are a few unfinished builds that I can show you. And the first one is right here. Some of you guys might be able to recognize this. It was suggested like a few months back, and yep, it is indeed a Ram TRX. I think this build is coming along nicely. As I said, I'm sort of running out of red pieces, so I probably need to buy a few. But yeah, overall I think it looks, at least so far, pretty recognizable. Of course, it's got like the wide body fender flares. Just overall a really cool truck in real life, and definitely a truck that I sort of had to build. So yeah, that's this, and now move on to the next unfinished build. Alright, next up we have once again another second gen. This is a like second gen dually. It's only missing the A-pillars, but yeah, I might actually scrap this because I already have 2 second gens and I'm running out of red pieces. But yeah, it's basically just based off like a farm truck. Nothing really much to see here. And yeah, now we'll move on to the next one. Next up, we have once again another truck. This is like the last unfinished truck on this list. But yeah, it is a Ford, as you can see from that little blue piece. It's basically based off like a 06 era F250. I think it's coming out pretty good. I've only made the front, obviously. But yeah, expect a video on this in the future. And yeah, that's basically all to say about this. And now move on to the last unfinished build, which is a car actually. And the car is this. Yep, it is of course a Lamborghini, and it's an Aventador. Yeah, it's basically gonna be my first like supercar that I've ever made. Hopefully it turns out good. It's sort of hard to say because I've only made the front, but I think it's safe to say that the front actually looks pretty good so far. This actually didn't start as a Lamborghini. It started as a what was it? A Lexus LFA, but that sort of failed. It sort of looked kind of like a Huracan, but then I sort of remade it into a Aventador. And yeah, the front definitely looks good so far, and I guess that's about it to say. That's sort of going to wrap it up with all of the cars on this list. Alright, so some of you guys think that I might like organize my Legos and stuff, which I'm trying to do, but I'm just going to warn you guys that it's not really that organized. And yeah, here it is. So this is sort of what my room looks like when I'm like actively building something. As you can see, we have this big pile of Legos right here. Yeah, just a ton on the floor. It's in this like sort of like a, I don't know, parachute thing, so they don't like get on the floor. But yeah, that's that. I also have some smaller boxes that are actually organized, like these black parts. Of course, it's not all the black parts I have, but some of them. I also have these white ones right here. These light bluish gray ones, which I've actually organized like by piece, and also these red ones, and of course these translucent bricks. Oh, I also got tires right there. These are like sort of Technic parts, and I also have like fender pieces over there. So yeah, that's I guess how I organize my stuff. And yeah. Alright, sorry if that end wasn't very climactic, but yeah, this brings this video to an end. And yeah, as I promised before, you guys can suggest either car builds that I should build or cars that I've built that I should make instructions on. But yeah, I guess thanks so much for watching. Hope you liked this video, and stay tuned for more.